Hi there, this is Ben Bowman, Tiger Walden School Board member and the Progressive Democrat running for Senate District 18 in the primary. And I'm here in Cook Park with my campaign manager, Miles Palacios. This is one of my favorite places in HD35. And so Miles is going to ask me the questions that Carl provided for the 5 in HD35 interview. So without further ado, Miles, please take it away.
Why are you a Democrat?
I'm a Democrat because the Democratic Party is the party that stands up for working people. The Democratic Party believes in fairness, it believes in justice, it believes in creating more opportunities in this country, it believes in abundance and lifting all people up. And those are my values as a Democrat. I wouldn't be able to be married if it wasn't for the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party believes in expanding access to healthcare, making sure everyone has affordable housing, believes in a robust public education system, and those are all my values and what I believe in. So I'm a proud Democrat and a proud member of the HD35 Democrats. Second question.
Why are you running?
I'm running for the Oregon State Senate because I think the Senate needs a culture change. For a long time in Oregon, the state Senate has been a place where good progressive bills go to die, and I think we have to change that. I also think that with everything happening with COVID-19, we are going to have a choice in Oregon because we're going to get through this to the other side. And the question is going to be, when we're on the other side of coronavirus, do we want to go back to the way things were in 2019? Do we want to go back to a time when Oregon had the largest wealth gap in our history, when not everyone in our state had health care, when our homelessness rate was very high? Or do we want to move to a more progressive future and use this as an opportunity to build a society that's more progressive, more fair, and provides more opportunity for working people? And that's the place that I want to live in, and that's the state that I want to help build as a state senator. If you want to know more about my plan and my priorities for recovering from COVID-19, you can check out my website, benfororegon.com. Question number 3.
What is something you can do to help with the response and recovery in a post-COVID-19 Oregon from the position you are seeking?
That is a great question. I think there's a couple things there. First, you can do all the policies that I can pass as a state senator will be really helpful for the recovery, right? Like in the state legislature, we're going to be making really significant cuts to budgets and prioritizing expenditures that benefit working class people, making sure that no one loses their home because of this crisis, making sure that people don't lose their health care because of this crisis, even and especially if their healthcare coverage was through their employer. We need to make sure that our expenditures align with our values and that we're not listening to the Donald Trump Republicans who are saying we need to cut taxes on the wealthy to recover, or we need to bail out corporations to recover. We really need to focus our expenditures. So there's all the things that I can do as a state senator in the legislature. But I think the other piece of this is a state senator is a community leader. It's someone who can bring people together, form coalitions, educate the community, and provide services. So, for example, what I did as a school board member with Packed with Pride, which is a local food program we've started in the Tiger Walden School District, is I brought community groups together to build a community response. We brought together the local teachers union, the local schools foundation, the school district itself, the Chamber of Commerce, and other groups who can support our effort to feed children in our community who are food insecure during this crisis. The state senator can do that, but on a larger scale, because they can build larger coalitions for a larger area. So there's two pieces of ways that I think I could be helpful in our COVID-19 recovery. What's the next question?
How do you plan to stay connected to constituents in House District 35?
Another great question. I think for me, being very transparent and accessible to people is a key value for me as a public official, as a school board member, and certainly it would be true as a state senator. I would want to hold regular town halls and regular coffees. I think Representative Doherty, who I used to work for, has done an incredible job being accessible in the community. I would want to continue that tradition of having Tigard elected officials really be present in the city of Tigard, and in this case, Southwest Portland as well. And I think having a robust online presence so people can know what's going on by following my Facebook page or my Instagram account or my newsletter list. When schools closed, for example, I did Facebook Live town halls to explain to students and to parents what was going on. And we had thousands of people who ended up watching those. And I think that's another tactic that I can use to really communicate to HD35 what's going on in Salem and get the right information to the right people. Last question.
Campaign contribution limits have seen an increasing amount of attention in recent weeks thanks to a court ruling that makes them legal in Oregon. What else needs to be done to curb the power of big money in local and Oregon politics?
Great question, and one that I'm very excited to answer. I strongly believe we need to get big money out of politics. Oregon is one of the few states where corporate PACs can donate literally as much money as they want to campaigns. and it's obviously having a corrupting influence on our political system. And I don't think anyone should be able to deny that. It's one of the differences in my race personally. I'm not taking any corporate PAC money, and I'm the only candidate not taking corporate PAC money. So what we need to do now that the Supreme Court has said campaign finance limits are legal is we need to actually institute the limits, and we need to actually prevent people from buying elections by donating large sums of money to candidates that they prefer. So I support public financing options for state legislative candidates and statewide candidates. I think that gives the incentive to campaigns to run a campaign like mine that's totally powered by grassroots and has a lot of low dollar individual contributors. But we need to pass that policy through the state legislature, and I hope if I become a state senator that I'll have the chance to be part of that, because I think it's an incredibly important democratic reform for our state. So those are my answers to the 5 and HD35 interview questions. Thank you, Carl Fisher, for this opportunity. Feel free to reach out to me if any of you have any questions about any of these items. If you want to get more involved in the campaign, shoot me a message on Facebook, send me an email. I'd love to work with you to build a more progressive Oregon. All right, thanks everybody. Hope you stay safe out there. Bye.